But when you talk about it, it feels to me like some people might say, there is this more spiritual point of view, which is more like what I want to do, what is my vision, what is my goals as a person in my career. And the other one is like more business. Yeah, we are for profit, we're going to make money. So it seems like there are two paths that how do you merge them into one thing that they say, yeah, that's the right thing for me and for in general, it's the right thing. When is this merging coming
Yes.
to creation?
Well, my question would be the other way around. When were they ever different? Like, what happened that we separated the two, right? So I think that we have become excessively short-term driven and performance driven. So let me bring an analogy. So if I want to look better and I want to feel good, I can say to myself, I am going to drop 5 kilos, right? But that is just a metric. That is never going to be an indicator of how I feel and how I look. It's just a thing. So the same thing, what we have done in the business context is we have alienated the core of what we're doing, the essence of what we're doing, by attributing metrics to it. And the thing is this, we like to say the map is not the territory, right? So the KPI is not the behavior. And so even assuming that that is going to provide an answer is highly short-term driven. And let me add to that, it's actually dangerous because it means that you are overlooking the true indicators, and therefore you can be manipulated, or you can blindly walk into behaviors that are not ideal. Let me just hang it kind of a bit high, as we say in Dutch.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Because you're doing it because you should, or not because, or you could, but it's not really what you want to reach. It's like not your
correct.
internal goal. It's just
Yes.
outside. That's what you're meaning.
So
Yeah.
another author that I love in this domain, I think that his books are really super, is Sir Ken Robinson. And Ken
Wow,
Robinson
I
said,
love him. I
yeah,
really
well,
love him.
if you
One of
look at
my
the things
favorites.
that
The
he said,
elements.
yeah, and for me, one of the things that really stuck of the things he said was, you can't pull on grass to make it grow. And so we're talking about the topic of personal growth as a fuel for innovation. And in this context, his quote is very, very relevant. So we, at some point, someone, and the rest of us, by contagion, by viral effects, started adopting this kind of language. We started calling people human resources. And we were in a context, in a paradigm in which we were looking at resources as something that you extract and that you exploit. But that is like doing an absolute disservice to the actual human being that is the first part of the word human resources. So actually, we need to look at resourceful humans. We need to look at how do we turn on that human capability, that human capacity. I would even go to say it, human yearning to make a positive difference, so that they become resourceful and allow us jointly to tackle the topics of our time. But if we keep making things smaller by trying to quantify them, trying to KPI them, trying to box them, trying to put tags on them, then in the end, we overlook that, again, to the wickedness of things, that problems are really wicked, that they are really multifaceted, that they are really multidimensional, and that they require an approach that is much more organic, in the sense that when a problem is so big, so multifaceted, so multidimensional, you're not going to solve it in one go. Let's that is part of the human limitation.
Yeah.
No matter how smart you are, no matter how long you think about it, you've got to start doing. You've got to start experimenting. You've got to start trying things out. You've got to start learning as you go, and having the humility to say, I'm going to learn. I don't know, but this problem is pressing, is important. It's affecting sufficient people that I want to try and look for a solution. And then if you, in the process of doing that, you are able to create value. And if in the process of doing that, because we are in a paradigm in which we measure value transactionally in terms of money, and you generate a profit, that's great. You generate savings, that's great, man. That's awesome, because actually all that money that flows out of that allows you to tackle the next question and the next question and the next question. But if we start addressing the topic of money, and a great author who talks about these topics in the context of culture is Douglas Rushkoff, who is a media anthropologist. Excellent work. He has written a book that is called Team Human, about how we go as humans about with the digital technologies. But looking at that, what he says is actually we have started treating money also as a resource that we exploit and extract, and we try to take the energy that money is and kind of put it into a unit and hold it really, really tight. And then like we can use it. But why are we accumulating wealth? Like what for? If you go to a desert island and you have a stack of dollar bills, what's it going to do for you? Like, how is it helping us?
You can burn it.
You can burn it, yeah. Maybe if you eat it, it has some nutritional residue. I don't know, never tried.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. I think it's a very human way of thinking. When usually when we're thinking about human-centered design, we're talking about the end customers, the end client. And what you're talking about is you as a leader, your employees, the people who work around you, they're all human. The people who are affected, it could be the third party that you work with, your partners, your suppliers, and the end user. So it's not only focused on, let's understand the customers right in order to provide the right answer. It's a holistic point of view, what's human and what's good for human beings. And I think it's connected to what you see right now in the Bay Area, that people who are working for companies want to be sure that they're working for the right companies who are doing the right things, and not only, we have all these like great benefits from the company, and it's everybody's envious of us because we're working in the right place, and now we want to make sure that we're utilizing our time and talent and resources, to create something which is good.
And I think the first signs of that were intuitive. So what we started seeing, and I saw that quite a bit as well with students. So I was working with different institutions